Okay, so welcome to another NTW3 multiplayer battle. It's 3v3 with the Mamelukes, myself as the Russians, and Sleep as Prussia, facing off against two French armies, and I think the Ottomans down there somewhere. Could be wrong. A fast-forwarded deployment zone because it takes quite a while to get into position. We're just setting up now, meeting in the centre, so I'll play it from here. So Heisenberg has brought a melee army for the Mamluk, so he's going to try and push on the left through the woods. I'm going to try and maintain the centre with the large Russian battalions. I'm going to set up my artillery in the centre. So already faced by two batteries. You can see that one, can't see that one, but you can see the smoke. And it looks like they've occupied this building in the centre, which obviously at some point we're going to have to take. Kick them out of it. We've got Sloop's cavalry just dying up the right. French cavalry in this NTW3 mod is very powerful. That's just light carbon. We've got some dragoons at the back, so he has to be careful they don't come around his right flank. I've spread my 3 units of grenadiers, beautiful units, because they're taking artillery fire. I did move them up in column, but obviously put them into line. Column's faster on the march, especially on the roads, but when they're under artillery fire it's best to spread them out. We've already taken a few casualties. I have moved my light infantry, faster, highly accurate, not great in melee, into the woods, so they'll be hidden now. Although I'm sure he saw them march in, so he'll know that they're there. Hopefully he might forget. And I've unlimited my 12 pounders, and I'm going to focus fire on any concentration of troops that I can. If he does move those out of the way, cavalry, because they're very susceptible to artillery fire, or the artillery, especially with grouped up infantry behind them. Got my reserve at the back, including the lead guard, large battalion. I'll be saving them for if I do a melee charge later. So we're just letting Heisenberg go through the woods to engage. He's got some skirmish units, again melee units at the back, powerful cavalry on the wings. And it looks like Sam Martin is taking up good positions in the woods as well, so obviously provide cover. He's spreading his line very wide and very thin. At this point we decide I'm going to send down 3 battalions to support Heisenberg's right, just to make sure the French can't come up with cavalry or infantry. Soup decides to engage some French cav over on the right, and realises that was a shitty decision because he's just got his arse kicked. I think about bringing my small cav out, but by the time they get through the woods it wouldn't make any difference, so I expect they're going to do a retreat now. No, they're going to go in again. But against dragoons I don't think they'll hold, and they don't, because their French was only light cav. He's also bringing up infantry to support his cavalry, which is a wise move. And he's also coming in on my right flank. So what we're going to do, we've decided we're going to hit the centre in force. The French left wing is now moving along the road because they've realised that they're way out of position. And again, he'll be moving them in column down the road to try and get there faster to support the French centre. Bit of a standoff on our left. I'm going to try and now utilise this gully for cover to get up to the house from artillery fire. Bring in my skirmishers and my light infantry. As I'm obviously marching my big Russian battalions down, they're going to come under heavy artillery fire. But in line it shouldn't be too bad. 94 casualties. Yeah, it's not too bad. So Sleep's still showing some force on the right to try and keep a large portion of the French army on our right over there, while we push the centre in force. At this point I'm moving my grenadiers, 3 battalions, over to my left, in case Heisenberg decides to charge so they can support. Here we're having a nice line fight. Quite funky looking units. So we know this house that they are now going into to defend is going to be a bitch to take. So we have to work around it. I think at this point Sleep decided he was going to take that house and I was going to attack to the left of it. The majority of my forces, sweeping them over to my left. Hid 3 units of cavalry in the woods, so hopefully the French centre guy will forget that they're there. The big line fight in the woods is just dragging on at the moment. Minimal casualties. Deciding for the right moment to come out when Sleep is down here, to come out of the gully, just give me quite a bit of cover. Bring my skirmishers up just to harass the French. And we decide the time is right to push a little bit. Got my reserve up, cavalry support. The artillery duel is still ongoing.
Şu an atış menzilindeyiz efendim.
And there are the French moving down the road. They realise now if they don't get a shifty on, the centre's going to be under real pressure. And pretty soon I decide to move my lancers up, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and hit these artillery batteries. If we can hit them successfully, then we can move up with the infantry, because while they're still there with canister fire, they can wreck the infantry. So we need to get rid of those first. And now's the time. So I've got one on the left, one on the right. One game for this battery, one game for that battery. They get one canister shot in. Fortunately for them, it's not enough. And a minimum amongst that battery. He does counter charge with dragoons and canister hits, so that will only disrupt, won't destroy. That one has destroyed, so that battery's gone. So now this whole French centre is open to attack, which is what we're going to do. We're going to bring down these battalions, and then the guards and the grenadiers can move up to support. And the French centre has a decision to make now. Either he stands and supports his right, or he makes a tactical retreat maybe to the road. But that means his right has to drop back from the good positions in the woods. Still holding his own. Nice line fight in the woods. But now's the time. He's pulling that battery left. One gun, what's left? Managed to get one gun, so that's good. But now's the time. This bit here is what we have to destroy. Split the forces, the left from the right. He knows it's coming. What can he do to defend it? So in between the small village and the woods, it's not a big gap. I think it'd be easy to defend, but there's a lot of infantry coming down. Cavalry's in place already. I'm going to try and bring the early battalions up to soak up the volley fire. And then bring the grenadiers and the guard in to melee. He's bringing some French battalions up to try and flank, but he's only bringing them in piecemeal. Meanwhile, Sloop's dancing with the house. Grenadiers are in position. The really good French cav knows it's coming, so that's just waiting for the charge. And it's coming. So basically got all of my infantry just in this small area here. And he has got defence in depth, but as you can see there's a lot of firepower going into these. So now just have to close the gap, give them a volley, and then charge in the grenadiers and the guard. Closing distance on the left. And charge in the centre. That right there is Russian power. Now he's decided to send in the cavalry to countercharge. Realise the battle's going to pretty much be won in the centre. Send in the grenadiers. Form square just behind the line in case any cavalry get through. As you can see, big cav battle. And they have got cavalry in support. The French right has just arrived. I don't want to follow the charge too far because they'll overextend and they'll get counter-charged by cav. He has got one artillery piece there, which obviously is going to hit my men with canister. So we lose the cav battle there on the left, and that unit is going to cause a bit of an issue because I have no cavalry to back myself up. Put them on the right there. So because of the strength in depth, we did break them, but we couldn't follow through. So now it's turned into a line fight again. And there's the enemy cavalry breaking through on the left. Form square on the left against the cav, but the infantry's coming as well with the 2 squadrons of cavalry. At this point it's panic time because we do have a gap between me and Heisenberg on the left, but I did keep cavalry in reserve, and there's the guard forming square just to lock down the centre. My left is starting to break. A nice charge by the French.
Our men are running, sir.
Fortunately, no reserve cavalry. Managed to win that engagement, and the guard square forces the cavalry back. But here they come again, dragoons. At this point I have to refuse my line. That is not a good position to be in, so I'll try and flatten it out
Our
shortly.
men are running, sir.
Those dragoons are beginning to be a pain in the arse. And there's more coming in as well. Lancers.
Our men are running, sir.
So as I say, at this point I have to pull back in column to form a new line. French cavalry did win, but it has to pull back. So they couldn't follow that victory up. So now I can reorganise my line. Sleep on the right is slowly pushing up like a snail. Nothing new there. Heisenberg on the left has got the better of that big line skirmish. But now I realise it's time to take advantage of the bigger Russian battalions against the French quality. Conscripts. It's not got great units unless they're the ones defending a house. So Heisenberg decides to alienate and push back his enemy. I've set my 12s up to shoot down but I know that the cavalry's going to come and try and take him like I did to his. There's not a lot I can do about it. As you can see by the square next to the unit name, that unit can form square, and so can that one. But it'll still run straight through. The speed of the light cav, same as that one, but that's going to get caught on my square, guard square, 'cause it's a big old square, and they're going to suffer because of that. Especially the unit behind there to charge on the artillery. Can't do much about it, but I'm basically trading artillery.
Our men are running, sir.
Not a bad swap really, because as I say, French cavalry is very powerful. But he is trying to push me with French infantry, and it's just not of the calibre to do it. So he has to withdraw the line. So we have a strong French right. We broke most of the French middle, pushed them back on our left. So at this point the game is pretty much won, but now we just have to finish off what's left. So we're going to try and split the forces, come through on left, come through on right, and then hit these units from the rear, maybe come round onto the French left, hit them from the rears as well. Sloop will use the advantage of the terrain, so facing off against these French units, he's going to use the woods. We do a tactical withdrawal and just keep falling back into the woods, hoping that I can then come around behind that French
We have killed their general,
wing.
sir. Now they must break.
He's going to try and form up some form of defence in the centre of the French battalions. Enfilade fire from the little village. It doesn't really have the quality or the numbers to stop me. Specialists leave guard, which can do massive damage. 250 men. Guy does get French dragoons on the right, around the rear, and into Sloop's cannons, but he chases them off. So here we go, try and separate the French from their ally on the right. We're going to maintain that as a strong point. Sloop knows he can't rush it, so he's just going to try and hold and whittle them down while I swing down the rear. The French guy, you can tell, does want to try and overwhelm me with his quality against his light infantry and skirmishers, especially if you can bring this French cavalry into play. The Guard are getting volley fired from distance by the French, so I'm going to try and close that distance, hold fire until I can get very close and then give a devastating volley. Probably leave myself a bit light here, and he sees that and he's going to try and bring those reserves through the village. Just watch this volley. So close the distance, increase the accuracy. Don't think he's seeing them. It's probably Microing over there, yeah, coming out the village. That's a nice volley. As he comes out of the village, I'm just going to pull my lighter troops back, faster, more accurate. And the morale of that battalion just faded. 2 volleys from the guard, and they're out of here. There's a bit of melee with Sloop. Sent the dragoons in. They only slowed down the inevitable. French here's got conscripts on his right flank, never hold against the guard. Guard are quite slow because of the size of the unit, so I'll try and utilise the road. He does want to come out of here and attack my lights. He's just waiting for the right moment. And there you go, he decided enough's enough. He's going to try and break my lights, spot it just in time, bring them back. They should be faster, more accurate. At the same time, I'm going to try and get the guard to charge the conscripts, or give them a short volley then charge. And now they realise they're running into a cauldron of doom. No French general near, so the morale will suffer. Pouring the volley fire in, plus Sloop's brought some cav up, so lower morale as well. The guard charged the conscripts on there, and they don't stand a chance. And that French flank is going to fold. Tries to charge. But the volley fire they're receiving is pretty immense, and they break. And that's going to cause a bit of a chain rout, especially with the conscripts. And there you see the French centre's gone. The last battalion's going to get charged in the rear by some funny looking dudes in skirts. And it's just a matter of catching the left, chasing it down and killing it off. So the only thing that remains is the French left, really, who, as I thought, are pushing Sloop, but Sloop's knows what he's doing, he's just pulling back to the woods. Use the cover advantage, pull them on so I can get round the rear. It's a lot of death right there. Mostly French. And as you can see starting to form, it's going to be a pocket. And I just need to close it. Managed to hit square at the last minute. Already tired dragoons won't hold up to that. So the guard, grenadiers going around the rear, the lights, forcing that battalion so we can cross the gully. Looks like Slip's been charged by dragoons on his right. Lost a couple of battalions. Say not all infantry can form square. Trained ones can, vets can, conscripts, battalions, well they can't. So you have to be very careful. The French left realises he's not got long left, so he pushes in, realises it's now or never. Slip's got the woods, this guy's in the open, it's going to take a lot more casualties. Eisenberg's just routing right. I think they'll pull back to that house and just try and defend it, but this game's already over. And here's the 1st Battalion, Grenadiers coming to the rear of the French, so the trap's been closed. Decides to charge. Knows the game's up pretty much now anyway. Well, he should have charged. Looks like he's still trying to flank. Slip's withdrawing again. Confusing his flank. Now I'll force that battalion back. I can cross the gully and close the trap. So now those French battalions are getting it from the front and the rear. I've got nowhere to go. Just a matter of mopping them up.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
God, the guard is so slow. Morale is
This building has
starting
fallen
to drop
to the
across
enemy.
the board, and it's just a matter of crushing them now. Good game, but it was won. Back in the centre, right there with the charge. See sneaky sloops squeezing a battalion in column and then getting it routed, but he's also charging cav. They can't form square, so they rout instantly, and neither can they. Same fate, butchered, and neither can they. So only that unit can. And those fellows right there are doomed. They try and escape. But it seems I've got my amphetamine-induced grenadiers chasing after them. Napoleon's over there. He's escaped. No longer gives a shit. Kind of catch them before they get over the gully. And there's your good game. So yeah, I'll put a link to the mod in the description. That's a good game.